Guys, Delu Laguna, YouTube's and Golo Kante, I'm back again. It feels like I've been away forever. I was having this debate a short while ago actually with colleagues about '08 or '98. For those of you who don't know, I'm talking about the 2004, well, was it '03 or 4? Yeah, it was '03 or 4 season, unbeatables, '98, the double. Now, I envy those of you that were born in the 80s and them things there that were able to fully comprehend the 98 time. Now, all I can do is go back and watch old games, old footage, and all of these sort of things. Because obviously, I'm born in 95. I'm 3 years old or something like that in 98. But so you can get where I'm going. Vague memories, but I was nowhere near what I am today, can I? I mean, yeah, I've grown up around Arsenal fans, but yeah, not really personal memories like that. So of course, I'm going to say 2004. My bias is going to obviously be 2004. I mean, primary school, there was a time where you could actually go to school and be proud to be an Arsenal fan, like bragging, like you actually called a glory hunter for Arsenal. I mean, they're both amazing, man. I do feel I do feel 98 is whispered about, although I weren't there. I feel 98 is whispered about, and 2004 is held in a massive high regard when they're very close together. Obviously, I'm speaking in comparison to both. Going unbeaten is fantastic, but to win the double in '98, Wenger's first title, first FA Cup and Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, which it was, to disrupt Fergie, to show someone that okay, Fergie, and he's shown it in hindsight. If you go and look at it, he still reigns supreme, but someone was there to disrupt the whole domination he had, the whole bully sort of thing he had. He now had to think about this Frenchman who came from Japan and things like that. If you remember the season before '98 as well, makes it more incredible. The season '98 didn't even start off well, if you remember rightly. '98 for so much reasons was amazing. Didn't start off well. To overcome a 13-point gap as well, which actually happened. I mean, look at today. That's like overtaking City right now. Arsenal were poor for many months. The December period, November, December is when it really started to uptick, and I might even be wrong about that. But if you go and look, and this is me going up on my memory of things I've seen, it went away. Not only that, on hindsight, wow, it was a fantastic season. Tony Adams had his personal problems. I'm not saying it's fantastic he had personal problems, but to overcome that and lift the title, it was Ian Wright's last season. Go out on a high. There was so much good about it. I mean, he had the right experience. He had the right mixture of experience with that back five, including the keeper of Bold, Winterburn, Dixon, Adams, Seaman, all of them man there. Then it had the young Petit and Vieira complementing each other, pace and power. Hell, they even won the World Cup the same year. So yeah, they had that. You had a young Anelka up there. You had Ian Wright. You had man that was scoring goals. 98, he looked amazing. Like, it must have been lovely. It must have been lovely to watch it. You had the experienced heads getting the young guys and coaching the young guys through the games and things like that. It was fantastic, man. '98 shows Wenger in his prime. He came true, he spent wisely, brought in Overmars and them sort of things there. He had the great partnership in Petit and Vieira. And it was his first title first double he's done. That was very much Wenger coming here to stay, and shows how much he was, how good he was in his prime, to be honest with you. '04, like I said, was amazing, man. Was amazing. They drew a couple games towards the end, but it was lovely to see us lift the title at Spurs. My memory's actually going because it feels like it didn't happen, but to lift the title at Spurs in my lifetime, the game against Liverpool, especially when you consider how poor we were against Chelsea in the Champions League, to still keep that is amazing. Wenger set them a target. Wenger was laughed at. The players were laughed at, and whatever way you look at it, they were unbeatable. To go a season unbeatable, it's amazing, but it's not even the fact that you didn't lose. Do you know how hard that must be to keep reassuring yourself, to keep applying consistency, because trust me, you will question yourself. It goes two ways in unbeatable. If you go invincible, you either think you're too good for yourselves, or you think, well, three ways, or you think you're not good enough and this is luck, or there's a middle ground. Okay, might we lose a point here? To be unbeaten, not just because it's Arsenal, for anyone, it is amazing. Like, I know Wenger did inherit a back five, and he has spoken about not creating a back five, which is a myth if you go and look at his sides. '04, what did they have? Colo Torre. Lauren was a midfielder brought in to play right back. Wenger in his prime. Mossi. You know the players that were there. Vieira was already there. Perez was there. Gilberto was there to replace Petit. Man were there. I don't need to list every player. Lomberg, my guy with his red head. I tried to make my hair red in primary. My mum said no, and for obvious reasons, we ain't got the same hair, so it was always a myth. But that's the beauty in being a kid. Like, '04 was very much Wenger in his prime again. Like, '98 was in his prime, but '04 came to flutation. You saw what Wenger's about: the pace, the power, the poetry and movement, and the elegance in the passing, the Wenger ball. I know some people say we play nice football, but we weren't nice. That man there played nice football. We were bullying and beating up teams, and it was good to be an Arsenal fan. Not because we're getting glory, because them man, like '98 and '04, these are teams where you can go into it believing in these, man, because they had heart commitment and things. Like I said, man, I'm not gonna go into the micro and say they won this many games, they won this, their defense was better. It's too long, and I'm doing this basically off the dome, man. But I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard. I'm gonna say 04, of course, but I want to say 98 because the 13 points, the personal problems, the triumph because it's the first year ever. And the worst thing 98 actually did in hindsight was actually win it because Fergie was on a gas thing and got the treble. But yeah, man. 04 was amazing. Primary school, like I said, man, we were bullying teams. You had Cole. Ashley Cole was world class. After Silvino's little injuries, Cole came into the side and was a bad boy in this thing. Lauren used to be a midfielder. Keon and Colo were there as well. Colo was 30. Keon, you can rely on him. Big Sol Campbell, him and Cole, definitely world class at this moment in time. Definitely were world class and some of the best players to ever played. Look at them in Euro 04 as well. Like, I will say the 04 probably were a bit more arrogant in the sense that I do believe 98, you need arrogance to win a league, but in the sense that 04, they knew they were good players. They worked, but they knew they were good players. Obviously, 98, you had man like Overmars as well. He made the difference countless times against Everton, in the final against Newcastle, against United. He did his thing. The scorers are mad as well. Both had relative free scoring size. 98 looks a bit more rubbed comparison to 04 because I believe Perez had 19 all comps. Henry moved mad with 39 all comps. Gilberto Silva even chipped in with 4. Lomberg with 10. Carnu had a couple as well, if my memory serves me rightly. Dennis Bergkamp even chipped in with a couple as well. There was collective scorers. 98 the same was there, but it was less so. I mean, DB10 had around 5 goals and them things there. Overmars obviously chipped in. Righty and Anelka obviously chipped in, and people collectively, but it weren't at the level that you were seeing 04. Like I said, 2 wingers, Lomberg and Perez, double figures already. Henry moving mad. Henry, Henry was mad. It is hard, man. It's hard to quantify which team is better, to be honest with you. I'm wrong about that, to be honest with you. I meant 04. DB10 had 5 goals. Reyes had 5 goals. I don't know why Overmars is there. My handwriting is messy. Carnu was getting his goals. I've listed Perez, Lomberg, Gilberto already. You see what man were doing in 04. 98, DB had 22. Anelka had about 9. Overmars chipped in, Wright chipped in as well, and them things there. But it weren't at the level that you've seen. It's hard, man. They're both 2 great sizes. Like I said, I weren't there for 98, but it's whispered about. It must have been fantastic. Overcoming 13 points, double figures. In a time where Fergie's the big boy in this thing, no one's touching Fergie. To deal with the personal problems. First ever league title for my big man Arsene Wenger is amazing. It's amazing. And you've constantly heard, 04 was great as well because I've listed the stories like Lauren, etc. And if you remember before that, that season before, Wenger was actually talking about how United keep spending money, how they've got 30 million to spend on, they spend 30 million on players and things like that. So yeah, man, like 98 as well. What makes it even more amazing? What happened in the seasons before that? We had a mad trophy drought, like 3 years or 4 years or something. It's a mad, using the word mad sounds mad, but you get it. Like, oh man, like, all I got to say is both sides did their job. Both sides gave King Fergie something to think about. He won the battle, but he won the war. But we gave him some sleepless nights. That's all I could say. To be honest with you, I'll never be able to decide this, man. Obviously, 98. We also saw Ian Wright become top goal scorer as well. Like I don't know, man. I really don't know. Oh, 98 as well. We've also got to remember. I know I said Wenger's in his prime in 04, but you got to remember how he in his first league title, how he went and sourced several players as well, like his 3 ex-players from Monaco as well. He did his thing, man. He did his thing. Both sides could have done better in Europe, to be honest with you, if I'm really honest, because Arsene Wenger, that's one thing that's been over his reign. The trophies and the challenges in Europe ain't really been there. But yeah, man, 98, it had the perfect blend of experience. It had the perfect blend of experience of the British mentality and the English boys and what Graham left behind, with marrying together with Wenger's new coming, and it was a fusion for a madness. 04 was very much that same thing, but it was all Wenger come to flutation. Like he got basically disbanded the back 5. Gilberto was in place of Petit. I know Vieira stayed. Henry come in as well and was twice the player Anelka was for us. And yeah, you see what's going on. Both sides are mad. But when I do think about it, you always hear the Chelsea 90 plus points. You always hear United treble, Arsenal invincibles. What about Arsenal 98? Like, it's ridiculous. And it does divide even the players that played. Dixon says 98 was better, obviously. DB's played in both. DB10 says 04 was better because there was games without even trying. He thought they were going to win 3 or 4. Gary Neville said both were hard to play against. He did say 04 were a bit arrogant in the sense that we're a bit they're French and they believe they're better than everyone else. That sounds a bit like the Brexit folk. But he also said 98 was the hard. He said 2000. That was about 2004. He said 98 was the hardest team, and I have to take that. Gary Neville's been through the battles at Arsenal. If he's saying 98 was the hardest side he's ever played against, you got to take that in. And he's not lying. It's a hard one, man. There's no rights and wrongs, man. Obviously, 98 was amazing. We had King Tony Adams in his prime. We had Big Bold. We had Dixon. We had Winterburn. We had Skengman. We had Skengman. Oh, man. Both were hard. It's hard. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like I said, relatively doing this off the dome. Couple notes there. Really should have went and thought about this and brought some notes into who's won, how many wins were there, how many draws were there, how many losses were there. Arsenal 04 did draw a lot of games. But yeah. Guys, Delulu Goon, I'm signing out. Get in the comments. What do you lot think? Regardless, hit the like, hit the subscription, share to your friends. 2018 we're taking over. Guys, I'm out. Thank you for having me.